Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In the name of Allah, the most merciful and the most gracious, and may His blessing be upon us. Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to Clean Expo and FESIMAX webinar entitled Changing Landscape of Cleaning, Moving Forward. The webinar series today introduces Clean Expo and FESIMAX, which is planned to be held concurrently with ARCHIDEX Special Edition 2020 from the 16th to the 19th December 2020 at the Kuala Lumpur Convention Center, Malaysia. For your information, ARCHIDEX is the region's leading architecture business event, gathering the architect, interior designers, and ecosystem of building first fraternity since the year 2000. As a highlight, at ARCHIDEX Clean Expo and FESIMAX, we'll be able to write on ARCHIDEX strength and numbers. For your kind information, ARCHIDEX 2019 attracted 36,300 visitors from 73 countries, accounting for almost 2,000 buyers and over 1.1 billion in business transactions. Clean Expo, a new exhibit showcase, will present products and series related to cleaning solutions, hygiene and environmental care with FESIMAX, which FESIMAX will focus on facilities, building and preventive maintenance and the related solutions. A timely event, Clean Expo addresses some of the crucial issues faced by the cleaning sector and our country, such as Industrial Revolution 4.0, where digitalization is becoming a norm, green cleaning, where we need to create a more sustainable environment, and more recently, as a result of COVID-19, hygiene, cleaning, and sanitation in all aspects of the building and surrounding environment has been very important. With us today, we have three speakers, I would say our three champions, who will outline the industry moving forward post-pandemic and how we are going to face the upcoming challenges posed to the industry. Let me now introduce Encik Noruddin Haji Idris, Managing Director of Q Services Malaysia Sdn Bhd, Encik Ahmad Fuad, Committee Member of Malaysian Association of Facility Management, and Mr. Hugh Chong Fat, General Manager of Nilfix Malaysia Sdn Bhd. And this session is moderated by myself. I am Dato Dr. Haji Razali Hassan, co-founder and Group Managing Director of Harta Group since 1980 and the Chairman of Malaysian Franchise Association since 2017. Before we proceed further, there's a brief outline of the webinar. Questions will be posed to each speaker, and each speaker will have about 2 minutes to address the issues. Ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to post questions in the live chat, and we will address them at the end of the webinar. We do apologize if we are unable to address all your questions. Let's begin with our first speaker. Hello, Encik Noruddin.
Hello, Assalamualaikum, Dato'.
Hope all is well.
Yes, morning.
As a cleaning contractor, what changes do you foresee in the cleaning sector in the coming years, especially post-COVID 2019?
Thank you very much, Dato', for the question. Prior to COVID-19, cleaning is viewed as just the removal of dirt, dust, and stain. But today it involves the removal and control of bacterial growth. We have involved cleaning from cleaning to cleaning for safety, health, and environmental care. And also due to COVID-19, people are getting afraid of the unseen, not ghosts and spirit, but rather bacteria and viruses. Seeing cleaners doing their job, it instills confidence in the public that the place is clean and safe for them to use. So today, cleaning must not only be done, it must be seen to be done, and it must be done properly with safety measures in place. And so you're still confident in public, cleaning must be transparent. Cleaning contractors have to disclose their cleaning procedures and frequency of cleaning, such as in toilet. We are seeing this in bank, in petrol station, where they post signs saying that the place is regularly sanitized. In future, most probably cleaning contractors will have to post who is cleaning the toilet, when the toilet is going to be cleaned, and how is it being cleaned. I also expect client will insist on stricter cleaning procedures. They will want to know the chemical we are using, how effective the chemical is in maintaining or in controlling bacterial growth. And they also expect higher frequency of cleaning, especially in high traffic areas and high touch areas. We will also see that there is a more awareness and focus on cleaners' personal hygiene. So cleaners must not only be presentable, they must be hygienically presentable. They must be fit to work. These are some of the issues or some of the things that I see is changing in our cleaning sector in future and also post-COVID-19. Thank you, Dato'.
Thank you, Encik Noruddin. That was a nice celebration. We hope the users and the industries will support towards this end. Let's now listen to our second speaker, Encik Ahmad Fuad. We believe that the general and scope of cleaning must have gone through a lot of changes due to the pandemic. So how can the buildings and facility maintenance players approach this?
Thank you, Dato', very much for the question. For the FM company, the element of sanitation and hygiene is getting more and more important, as well as the standard of cleanliness. We have to practice on a high level of SOP in our daily operations. Cleaning company must now include a new element in their process, such as technology in building science. We shall rely heavily on machines, equipment, chemical, and also the personnel. The big challenge that facing a new normal is need to practice SOP internally and externally. Means that the cleaner are now working in a high-risk environment, as they are in frontliner who has exposed to the public, and when they come back to the office, is also present another risk to the employees. The FM companies right now, or the building owner, as we likely to engage the services of the cleaning company that practice the higher level of SOP guidelines in terms of knowledge and personal skill, Dato'. Thank you.
Thank you, Encik Ahmad. Thank you for that elaboration. Let's hope that our high level of SOPs and technological support gives further understanding and productive shift as the overall industry, and especially as you said, the frontliners, that is the way forward that we should be looking at a more serious hygiene level. Thank you again, Cik Ahmad. Let's now move to our third speaker, Mr. Hugh. As an industry player, in your own words, what is the trend of the cleaning industry today?
Yeah, thank you, Tato, for the question. For this one, if we're talking about the trend, we have to move a little bit, in the history. From the earlier stage, we can see the cleaning, is a need everywhere. But it's very labor intensive and low wages at that time, you see. Basically, most of the cleaner using a simple machine, a broom and mop or simple machine to do the cleaning. But after that, they realized the cost have been increases, but still looking at the labor intensive. But they start looking for more machine at that time, you see. So cleaning method concerned to speed up cleaning due to human traffic and all that, and also need to train up the cleaner to use a bit more advanced machine. So education and training is coming in to educate to use the right machine. And current stage, we can say that labor and wages does matter. Cost is also does matter to a lot of contract cleaners. And we come into, how to quantify and qualify the machine to use to achieve the best optimum cost for cleaning. And more intensive on education and training, we are providing, to help, customer to optimum on all these area. Then green chemicals is also a requirement for green building, for everywhere, biodegradable or environment friendly. Today we can see the robotic is coming into the pictures. So automatic intelligence is born today. This is the trend currently we have. Thank you, Dato.
Thank you, Mr. Hugh. I believe with this trend, as you say, let's look forward for a more uplifted, productive environment. However, as of now, the industry is still very manpower oriented, so this is all the challenges between productivity and quality. Let's go back to our first speaker, Encik Noruddin.
Yeah.
You mentioned that the industry is evolving and there are 6 points that you outlined. In your opinion, how will these changes impact the cleaning contractors?
Thank you very much, Dato'. As mentioned by Encik Muhammad Fuad, facility managers expect a higher standard of cleaning, hygiene, and environmental care. So cleaning contractors have to meet this demand by reviewing and updating their cleaning procedures to include safety, health, and environmental issues. These procedures must be visible and not taken for granted as in the past. Since cleaning is now visible, it must be carried out in a proper manner and safety procedures followed closely. It must instill confidence in clients and the general public that it meets not only the cleaning standard but safety, health, and environmental standard as well. Thus, cleaners must not only be trained, they must be competent in their job. Higher cleaning frequency will mean more labor. More labor will mean higher costs. The same goes to chemical. When we talk about chemical that not only clean but disinfect as well, for sure it will cost more. Again, higher cost to the cleaning contractors. By right, the contract price should go up. But will this happen? It depends on the cleaning contractor, whether they want to risk losing their contract or offer a very competitive price, but most of the time unreasonable price just to win the contract. Since cleaning contractors are expected to disclose their cleaning procedures, its impact on safety, health, and also the environment, only those contractors who knows what they are doing and how to do it well will be able to meet this new challenge. So this, in a way, is a positive side of the side effect of COVID-19 because it promotes professionalism in the cleaning sector. These are some of the impact that I see due to the changes in landscape in cleaning. Thank you, Ratu.
Great way forward, Encik Noruddin. I think we hope everyone give their hand to support, in the term of quality against cost, and in terms of the current development and the environment. Let's go back to our Encik Ahmad Fuad. The global pandemic. Encik Ahmad Fuad, you with me? The global pandemic is more severe in certain countries, especially in Europe.
Yes, Doc.
The global pandemic is more serious in certain countries, especially in the Europe and USA. As an association representative, how do you think this will impact the industry post-pandemic and the challenges for local cleaning companies?
Okay, thank you again on the second question. Looking at the global issue and the number of cases internationally and reflecting back to the local industry impact, actually it has not raised alarming pitfalls. This could be the numbers of foreign companies in Malaysia are not too many compared to the present locals company. Despite there are players who have shut down and there are new players mushrooming. But this the time for the local cleaning company to be more creative, brave, and to think outside of the box. This is the time to focus on R&D, setting high standard, strict SOPs in cleaning, collaborate with the local educational center of excellence in taking advantage of our nation as being recognized as the best in controlling outbreaks of COVID-19 in this region, if not the world. This is my opinion will be the advantage for the cleaning company from Malaysia to venture abroad after this, Dato. Go and do it. Thank you, Dato.
It is still a uphill task in terms of, as what Encik Noruddin says in terms of cost against standards. I think this will be something that we should put hands together to look at how the industry could mature and the people could understand and put their hands together. Again, back to our Mr. Hugh. Mr. Hugh?
Yes.
Well, as an industry player, what is the impact in your company as a cleaning equipment provider during the post-COVID-19 as well as on the cleaning industry?
Yeah, thank you, Tato, for the quick question. And during, the COVID-19, what we can see, this is a panic stage. How can it be controlled without vaccine? Everybody trying to use alcohol or non-alcohol chemical or whatever just to fight with the viruses. So what we can see, the war start with the virus, which we cannot see. So people trying, to do the sanitation and all that for 2 to 3 months. As New Fix, as a company, we try to have some reflection, What is the important, again, cleaning versus hygiene? We also understand the new SOP have been started everywhere. Labor challenge also the same. Does the labor save hygiene and their health? This is also a critical area, and also social distancing and all that, and higher expectation from the the client or the people, they start looking at virus-free environment, productivity and efficiency, and the frequency of cleaning. All these have been increases, so the cost is also increased. So the side effect on chemical use and exploring new specification is also come into picture. To look for the right types of chemical to use, Then for New Phase, we look into how are we going to explore, what we can do, in future for cleaning and sanitation are more important has been ever after the COVID-19. This will lead to future of clean as following, detecting clean, where to clean. Intelligent cleaning is also one of the area, to look into. Ecological cleaning is also very, important and tough. Microbial cleaning, a lot of chemical companies start looking into, how to fry and reduce the microbial, bacteria and viruses, And then last but not least, cleaning psychology is also play an important part here. This will be the impact in the industry from now onwards. Thank you, Dato.
Excellent, Mr. Yu. I like the cleaning psychology there. As we always talk about cleaning, from the time you wake up to the time you sleep, cleaning has to be ongoing and continuous. And how this could be translated into a standard and related to the users. So I think that will be a big way forward for all of us. Yeah. Let's hear again from our Encik Noruddin. What is Encik Noruddin?
Yes.
We'd like to hear your advice to members of MACC in order to meet the new norms and challenges in the cleaning industry post-COVID-19.
Yes, thank you, Dato'. So as I mentioned by Encik Ahmad Fuad, the client expected a higher standard of cleaning. And now when we talk about cleaning, we also talk about hygiene, we also talk about safety, and we also talk about the environment. And then the frequency of cleaning is going to go up. And we expect the cost of salary of workers will go up also. So we are looking at an alternative. Rather than we concentrate on number of workers and so on, we have to look at alternative whereby we can increase the workers' productivity and also quality of work. So I believe that the days of manual cleaning is actually coming to an end. Getting workers is now getting more difficult. The local are shy away from cleaning, and getting foreigners is getting more and more difficult and getting more expensive. Minimum salary is also going up. Every year is going to go up, and I expect going to touch about 2,500. And the mentality of workers is also changing. The new generation are more interested in gadget and technology rather than in manual work. So cleaning contractors have no choice actually. They have to adapt new technology, new innovation, such as Industrial Revolution 4, which involve autonomous cleaning, digitalization, and real-time reporting. Globally, people are talking about awareness of environmental issues. So we have to start thinking of green cleaning, green product, and environmental sustainability. So to find out more about this new technology and innovation, I advise members to visit the Clean Expo, which will be held from the 16th to 19th December 2020 this year at KLCC. Personally, I believe that for any industry to move forward, it involves every player in the industry. For cleaning sector, it involves the property managers, it involves the supplier, it involves the government, it also involves the public. Everyone has to play a part in order to move the cleaning industry forward. If not, it will stand still as it is today. Thank you, Dato'.
Excellent, Noruddin. Certainly, it's a part of everybody's hand that put together. And we as a developing nation, I think this is something that we should really put as a priority, and we all should work together. And I think MACC, you're doing a great job. And I think all our members should be looking at the bigger picture rather than just sitting and relax and move the industry to the next level. And now, Ahmad Fuad, in your opinion, 5 years from now, how will the cleaning industry look like locally? Chairman? Hello? Hello, Chairman? Hello? Chairman, you with me?
Companies must take advantage of this opportunity to transform the way they do business. They need to incorporate technology and business research. Looking at the source of the coronavirus outbreak, having started from the wet market in Wuhan, we wonder how the cleanliness and maintenance of public places are carried out. The outbreak started from a wet market and not from the typical office building or factories. We need to start looking into the cleanliness of local wet markets, public toilets, public parks, campsite, food courts. These are an example only. There might be a local authority who can do enforcement. This needs to be expanded into a rural ports, our nation border. MACC cleanliness and hygiene campaign will be the new focus in every segmentation of outsourcing business, from the high technology focus to even to the wet markets. So prepare all the necessary action and take advantage of this norm to expand cleaning, sanitation, and hygiene businesses in the future, Dato'. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gemma. Thank you. That was quite an elaboration. I think it goes without saying, that as far as industry players, you also need the authority to support. Let's now hear the last question that I would like Mr. Hugh to look at. What do you think are the changes, Mr. Hugh, what do you think the changes and adaptation required in the cleaning industry's future?
Yeah, thank you, Tato. I mean, this is another very challenging, question. You see, most of the people, is when facing changes and adaptation, always having a high resistance, you see. So no doubt, you like it or you don't like it, we have to move forward to the future. You see, new cleaning standard actually has born. You see, to succeed into the future, business will need to understand the interconnectedness between the functional and psychological aspect of cleaning. What is functional aspect of cleaning? Applying recommended methods and procedure, the SOP, we need to follow. You see, using appropriate cleaning equipment and products, that is important. Maintaining cleaning frequency and thoroughness, that is a must. You see, in the future. Psychological aspect is talking about, are we every day conveying the consciousness of responsibility to keep people safe? This is our responsibility now and duty. Exhibiting the ability to clean to the expected level, you see. And also, we had to be transparent about cleaning processes and procedure. So this is to meet the psychological bugs. So for new fix, it's coming out, a 7 ways to meet new cleaning standard. Before we feel safe everywhere, today, are we still feel safe everywhere? We become more cautious today, you see. So the 7 ways, we are talking about, I just name, some of it. Cleaning as branding. This is the thing we need to change. Like some of the, speaker mentioned about, we need to upgrade the standard, you see. Highly visible cleaning, transparency. This is also very important. Structured cleaning procedure, the SOP. We shouldn't forget and also shouldn't loosen out the SOP. Greater focus on critical area. Where is the critical area? So we have to pay extra attention. Documentation and disclosure of cleaning procedure and frequency. This is also need to be in schedule, you see. Increase focus on cleaner safety and working condition. This is to make sure our cleaner are safe, they are frontline, you see. Physical changes in building, it will be coming and will be more we can see. And not the least, technology is also playing a part in the new era of cleaning. Today, like just now I already mentioned, AI, autonomous cleaning solution. It is relief and enable cleaning staff to spend more time on human touch. Antimicrobial coating, coat on high frequency touch point, can reduce microbial contamination. This is also a new thing coming out. Steam cleaning. Steam is an effective way to kill pathogen in area without a lot of that build up. So this is another equipment which can help out. Ozone or UV, both can provide disinfection instead of, using too much of alcohol. Online training, virtual site visit, and service call, this will be coming more and more. So the labor, in order to come into digitization, that is very important. Not only physical on site, even in the office, they still can monitor all this, you see. So we can see that, MACCs, to come out a campaign with the support of government on MyClean. This mark, I think, is very important. Everybody should support, you see, to go forward. How to make MyClean everywhere. Green Expo and Fleximax creating, this platform for us to showcase what we have, what we can help on the people need to be helped, you see, to move toward to the new cleaning era. This is really, we appreciate, the revolutionize, the changes in the cleaning and maintenance industry today or future. Thank you, Tato.
Thank you, Mr. Yu. Thank you. It's a real good elaboration of what you have said. I think, in a way, in a nutshell, I think pandemic 19, apart from the challenges and apart from the destruction, the economical situation, and all that, I think, in a nutshell, in terms of cleanliness, hygiene, and safety, I think it has given a brighter and a bigger outlook for the industry. And this is an opportunity time for us to all put our hands together. Nevertheless, the ecosystem, the users, the service providers, the owners of buildings or facilities, I think we have to come to terms where how do we look and how we should move ahead, so that we have to put all our attitudes, the communication, and the linkages well, so that we could see a brighter future, because Malaysia is an important region, yeah? And we have to look at how we could bring our country to the level of hygiene and standards, the heights that it should bring, and that would give confidence. Of course, the safety is not a compromise. And I think over this period, with all the help from all our frontliners, the authority, and all that has been excellent. But I think the way forward is how do we spearhead this? Indeed, as you said, MACCs, the Malaysian Association of Cleaning Contractors, My Clean campaign through the exhibition will indeed gather the players of the industry, government, public, and also the public spaces together towards ensuring a high standard in sanitation and hygiene. So this is something that we urge every Malaysian, every people in the industry. Just don't look at the cleaners. Cleaners are just, it's a profession, they do the job, but I think it's a part of every single individual, So let's be that. There are also areas, I think we have heard the experiences shared by our panel speakers in facing the current challenges, its impact, and how do we move forward post-pandemic and beyond. Now, it is time for us to hear from our viewers who may need a little insight, clarification, or even suggestion with regards to the challenges and issues. I have two questions here. It's been there on the screen, and one comes from Encik Rahimi Razak. And the question goes, how do you see the impact on the cleaning services contractor after the recent government instruction of freezing the intake of new foreign workers, and what we can do to encourage local workers to be in this sector? Can Encik Noruddin from MACC take this question, please?
Okay, thank you, Dato'. Very interesting question, actually. That's the problem with our politician. They come out with policy just to get more popular with the public. And the public is insisting or saying that we employers, including cleaning contractors, are taking advantage of foreign workers just to get cheap labor, actually. But is this the actual thing happening in our country? The fact is, our country are short of human supply. We have about 500 over unemployed, but nearly 80% of them are having certificate, having diploma, having degree, and so forth. I'm sure they are not interested to work as cleaners. So we have only about 100 over 1,000 of unemployed, which is we have to struggle, or we have to struggle with other sector to get them to work with us. And cleaning is considered as a 3D industry, which is dirty, dangerous, and difficult. Nobody wants to work in cleaning, actually, locally. So when you talk about what can we do to encourage local to work the industry, it's a very difficult question to answer, actually, because we have tried our very best. In fact, during COVID-19, hotels are saying that the housekeeping, using their job and so on. We make an offer to the housekeepers. Nobody wants to work with us. They're not interested. So what can we do? And we have done a lot of things. We come out with a national occupational skill standard. We come out with a Malaysian skill certificate so that cleaners can be certified up to level 5, which is equivalent to a gender degree, and no takers on the local. So the way I look at it is that cleaning contractors have to change their mentality. Rather than we concentrate on labor, we should start thinking of using other alternatives, using chemicals, using machineries, using innovation. For example, we have chemical which you apply on the surface, it can last for at least 12 hours, 6 hours, 12 hours. So in other words, we don't have to clean or we don't have to wipe the surface more often, too often. And then we have machineries. For example, if a cleaner sweep using the normal broom, it can cover about 250 square meter per hour. But using a mechanical sweeper, it can cover 2,800 square meter per hour. In other words, 10 times more productive than using a normal broom. So instead of using 10 workers, we only use 1 worker and 1 mechanical sweeper. So cleaning contractors should start thinking of this rather than being stuck with labor, because we are not labor supplier, we are service provider. Thank you, Dato'.
Thank you. I think, Nordin, the broader picture is people have to look at it as a more of a professional service, not just as, sweepers and moppers, because we are in the hygiene and environmental industry. Now, coming back to the government, of course, we are looking at protecting the safety and the importance of the nation's development. So as any other government, they will not easily allow foreigners or people who would be of destructive in nature. But as we are a developing nation and we are moving, as for example, I used to tell my friends, in Dubai, they have a total of 1 million population, but they've got 4 million foreigners working there. So it's again a chicken and egg story where we need foreign workers because the locals, as you mentioned, or as we all know, they have got other opportunities that they could look at being locals. And for us, and any developing countries in the world, there is these exchanges where they have to have these foreign workers to support the industry. So let's look at it and how we all, especially the industry players, and obviously looking at mechanization and looking at how to bring the standards to next level. This is not only the as MACC, I think it's the total industry. I think the owners or the facility owners should give a bigger hand and support, and without fail, the government support is crucial in this area, how to bring the nation to the next level of standards. And I think let's go for the second question now, because we have got questions coming in. That's good. From Mr. MD Hidayat, agreed with you in Fuad. Now this question is from Fuad. A center of excellence is an important factor. Please brief of this center of excellence function, if you may.
Okay, Dato', thank you, Dato' and Mr. MD Hidayat. The Center of Excellence is the team that's a combination of leadership, the best practice, researcher, support and trainings from every sector of segmentation, education sector, industry player, and also the government especially. I believe MACC is working on this and will be announcing this in the near future. Because from our side, MAFM already having started discussion on a national level with the authority on to have the Center of Excellence. That's a good thing that we might be collaborate together with the MAFM and MACC to come up with the best solution of Center of Excellence. I think that's the answer for right now, Mr. MD Hidayat. Thank you very much.
Certainly. I think, Fuad, you have that. And Hidayat, I think going back to MACC will be a solution where they could open up to state how they work with the related authorities and also the related agencies. So that will give an insight. Now we have a third question from Hero Amadas. Our hero would like to know, where can we get the competency training for workers as we are new in these industries? Again, I think this question will fit either Encik Noruddin or Mr. Hugh.
Yeah, maybe I would like to say something about this. Yeah. So actually, I mean, in the past, I did, engage with Encik Noruddin. We talking about the training center. You see, so we are love to, to come in, to be part of the trainer, you see, to make sure the cleaners, not know how to use the machine in the right way, you see, and also the application, and also, to understand fully, how the machine can perform, better instead of using more manpower, you see. So what I can say is, we have a New Fix Academy, we have New Fix University. You see, we can help out on this part on the knowledge transfer, and we also can give a certificate of competency to the workers to enhance, their status level. You see. So, Encik Nuruddin, maybe you also can explain, what is the future we can be, for this.
When you talk about training, actually, there's two types of training. One is the normal training without any tests and so on. In terms of competency training, we have a few choices actually in Malaysia presently. One we have from City and Guilds, which is offered by Sinar Global, which is under Datuk hands. Then we have another which is offering British Institute of Cleaning Science certification. And locally, we have SKM, CJ Kemahiran Malaysia, or we call it a Malaysian Skills Certificate. But the problem is, as far as I know, there are no institution presently which is offering a full course or a full-time course for this particular certification. So presently, this certification, Malaysian Skills Certificate, we offer through PPT, which is pengiktirafan pentolehan terdahulu ataupun what we call recognition of prior achievement, whereby it depends when the cleaners have about 2 or more years of experience, they can apply to get this certification from Jabatan Pembangunan Kemahiran or Department of Skill Development. So these are some of these institutions which are offering training courses. For further information, I welcome you to contact MACC and also to attend our AGM on the 23rd of September this year so that you can get more information about the training and so forth. Thank you.
Thank you, Chanuddin and Mr. Hugh. I think a little bit on the Sinar Global Academy, the Harta uses that as an outsourced partner. So they provide quite a bit of skill building programs and the City and Guilds program as well as SKM. So there is opportunity. I mean, again, for companies, or again, is client relation, because people want to engage into training. A lot of cost factor is involved. So we believe that the industry will look at it as future investment into training and development that will enhance the industry. So it's a two-way. Not only the service provider, but the people who accept the service, the clients also should look at how do we have their supervisors or people who are in engagement with the workers get that basic understanding of the service system, right? Now there's a question again from our MD Hizir. We are all aware at this new norm and it's costly to do, but it is a need to our lives now. But does the building owners counterparts ready to spend? In a nutshell, I think what Idir is looking at is, other than just looking at the cleaning contractors and their commitment, how much of commitment does the building owners or facility owners are willing to participate or partner in this cost for good development future? Maybe Nuruddin, you can take this question. Nuruddin, would you like to? Yeah.
I think this one Cik Fuad will answer.
Okay.
Selamat Fuad.
Okay, thank you, MD Hazir. I think two different person from the MD Hazir before this. Like this, we are talking now is hygiene, which is a combination of building, chemical, and science. And definitely, the time is changing right now. Talking about the counterpart of the building owners, because yes, there will be balance between your profitability and also safety and the other side. I believe the building owner understand right now with the new norm, with the new face a challenge that we are right now from the foreign workers, from the chemical, from also the what we call the panic situation. And I believe we team together, MACC and also MAFM, together with the building owner, do understand that we having time to challenge that we are having right now for the pandemic 19. So I believe in future we can talk about this further on the economic scale. Thank you, Dato'.
Thank you, Chairman. I think those were the questions that we had, 4 questions today. And I think rightfully, as we have mentioned now, it is all boils back to dollar and cents, you know. But I think how we should be looking forward in this industry is how everybody would come together. I mean, money is important, but that's not everything. But there may be means and ways. Certainly, I think the authorities will be the boosters here to help the industry to move forward. And I think as far as during the COVID-19 period, the government has also put in a lot of efforts in terms of training, in terms of matchmaking, in terms of supporting the whole system into the economy. But I think what MACC step taken today, I think is the right path, and for us to make sure that within the short, medium, and long term that we could achieve what we are looking for, what we have been craving for all this while. I think me and Encik Noruddin has been in the industry for quite a bit. Well, it's quite new. It's still about 40 years now. We have been working together, and we have gone through the mill. I think at the end of the day, it's all about attitude. And I used to joke to him before, I said that, hey, all these electricians carry a test pen when they go out to test the electric, whether there's electricity or not. So I said, if I could invent that test pen, where I could test the attitude of individual, that means right from the cleaner to the owner to even people like Mr. Hugh or Mr. Fuad, I can come in the morning and test, and it gives me a leverage to know what is the attitude of the person for that day. I think then the industry can be spin even further. So looking at that, it is nothing. It is not rocket science. But if we can look, we used to preach. We say, we look at countries like the US, the UK, or anywhere. But coming to cleaning and maintenance, the attitude is always on the cost. Some people, they spend a lot of money in beautiful buildings, interior design, but never take into consideration of how do we start on cleaning from the day one. That also emphasized on facilities or buildings which are under construction, and during the pre-construction period, they have never put in a value into housekeeping, services, facility management. So I think this is part of a learning curve, educating, and us putting much more efforts. And I think MACC is on the right track. And I believe, with this upcoming exhibition, that will contribute, definitely will contribute, but it has to be a part taken by every individual, right? So I think we have shared some questions, and there isn't much question, but I have one question, I think, for Encik Noruddin, looking at what would you think personally, Encik Noruddin, within the next short term, or say like 5 years from now, if COVID is one part of it, but this is way of life that we have to make sure that the industry has to evolve. We cannot be sitting and just saying that, that we could do this, we could do that. How can we, or generally the team members of our associate, the industry players, the ecosystem in the industry will look at now till 5 years from today, and whether it is cost, whether it's productivity, whether it's labor intensive, whether it is foreign workers, how do we perceive this, and how we could help save this situation and make sure that every part of our people or the country, the contributors of this, or the stakeholders, I would say, can look at bringing us to the next level.
Yes, thank you very much, Dato'. I believe that most people view cleaning as just cleaning per se. Most people fail to understand that cleaning is actually the catalyst for the development of other industrial sector, actually, other economic sector. We take, for example, when you talk about tourism, would tourists come to Malaysia if Malaysia is dirty, if the toilet is very dirty and so on? Can we promote tourism when the country is not being cleaned properly? So in other words, in order to promote tourism, cleaners must play their part. They have to keep the country clean. The same goes to when we talk about health tourism. when you talk about health is related to cleaning. If the place is not clean, there will be many viruses and so on. There will be many bacteria and so on. Will people be confident that they can get proper healthcare in Malaysia when the country is not being cleaned properly? So these are the things that people have to understand. And when we talk about foreign direct investment, in order for investors to come to Malaysia, we have to make sure that their investment are being taken care of. They build factories, they put in machineries and so on. Who's going to take care of their factory, their machineries and so on? If you have incompetent cleaning contractors, I'm very sure their factory won't last very long. Their machineries will face problems and so on. So cleanliness plays a very important part actually in order to promote economic activities in this country. These are the things that people have to understand. At the same time, cleaners have to change their mindset. We cannot look at cleaning as a business per se. Cleaning is actually a profession. So those involved in cleaning, they must be professional. They must know their job very well, and they must do their job very well. They cannot compete in terms of pricing and so on, because when they compete in terms of pricing, you're killing off the industry. So this mindset has to change. On the part of the MCC, have made a lot of effort in order to change the mindset of the cleaning contractors. Initially, we came out with MS 2550-2014 cleaning standard, because previously building owners are saying that how can they measure cleanliness when there is no standard? We come out with a standard. Do away, we say it count. Now building facilities cannot say that, no, I want 10 workers. No. What they want actually is the place to be clean. And how clean is it? Based on the cleaning standard that we have come up with. In order to meet the cleaning standard, MACC have come up with the National Occupational Skills Standard norms for cleaning, which determine what the cleaners need to know. You determine whether a cleaner is competent or not. So all this thing stated in the document, NOS document, National Occupational Skills Standard. And to promote, to encourage our local workers to become cleaners, we came out with military certificate, level 2 up to level 5. And level 5 is actually equivalent to a gender degree. This is not based on MCC dream, but rather this is what is stated by the government, by the Ministry of Education. So these are the changes that we are trying to instill in our cleaning contractors. The problem is our cleaning contractors are still stuck with the old mindset. That's the major problem. And to change the mindset, I think we have a lot of things that we need to do.
Thank you, General. That was quite elaboration. I always ask myself, I've been in this industry for 40 years. We still have public toilets in the country where people wouldn't want to use to sit on the toilet bowl. So I always tell myself, when I depart this world, before I do that, I want to make sure that our public toilets, working with the local authorities, to say that there will be people who will sit on our public toilets. How do we do that? That's a big question mark. So how can all of us put our efforts together? So I used to tell themselves, if I depart the world and I've not done that, I think something is wrong with us in the industry. But it goes way back. It also goes to the attitude and how the understanding, so awareness. Do we, MACC, shall we start giving awareness right from the school level, from the primary, because this is where we'll instill the cleanliness that is required into the people. And I like to share one incident or one situation many years ago. I think about 25 years ago, when I don't want to name the airline, but it was an airline that I went and quoted for the services. So they look at me and say, hey, Razali, your price is very high. So I did not know what to say. I look at him and then I said, okay, what sort of class you want? Economy, business, first class? Then he looked at me, what do you mean? I said, your flight travels from KL to London. It leaves at a certain time and arrives at a certain time, and everybody arrives at the same time. But the level of service is different in your aircraft. So you got economy, business, first class. Again, I said, you use Rolls-Royce engine, but here you want a Rolls-Royce and you want to pay me for Proton Saga, so I think it's not fair. So I told him, what kind of service do you want? Because service is only measurable after we have done it. But the important is, how could we sustain the service? So we had a good laugh about you know. So anyway, coming back to the industry again, it is undisputable because different classes, different standards, different requirements. So if you look at the hospitals, and when they're hospital standards, they can't apply to an office normal standard. So this is something I think all of us should put together, and let's see how this can be embedded. And we as the and MACC as a national organization, I think it's a area where we have to put in foresight. Now, the other important factor that we have to look at is, as we had 2020 supposed to be our year of development, and we are supposed to be a developed nation. However, due to many factors, we had pushed it a little. But the most important sector, as what Encik Noruddin explained, in terms of economy, in terms of foreign investment, how can we reach that status of developed nation when even our cleanliness level is still a very subjective matter? So this is something that we all should ponder about and see how we could bring into changes. As the speakers, as Hugh, I think, before we wrap up, probably you would like to say something else? There's something that you want to add on?
Yeah, I would like, I mean, after hearing, I mean, with the remark, I mean, with all of you all, and it's come to my mind, we keep talking about, I mean, in the future, the SOP, the cost of the labor, also, I mean, how to adapt the new normal and all that. So I believe the very important thing is the mindset, exactly like what Noruddin said, the mindset is very important. Have to do it to the right channel, you see. And we have to start with the process. So we have to take it as a journey to go through, you see. Like what, I mean, Datuk mentioned about, what do you think about the next 5 years? You can say 5 years is long, but it can be very short also. But how you go through the journey, you see. So it will be stages by stages, you see, to move forward to that, to lift all the level of cleaning, you see, to up to the certain standard. And again, just now the question is, does the owner going to spend the money? So I think this is also one of the education part to the most of the building owner or bosses, I mean, of the building or whatever, or institution or government. So we can see that, I mean, they have to come into their priority. For example, I visit quite a number of car park management company. When we're talking about car park cleaning, always the last priority. The first priority is my bumper. Once go up, money come. Once go up, money come. That is the first priority to them, is it? But when you want to clean the flooring, make sure it's clean and tidy and no bacteria and all that, they say, nanti itu besok, is it? So these are the thinking, I mean, people have to change, is it? So what I can see, just cross the bridge to our neighboring country. The government come in to subsidize on the machinery, you see, 50-50. Then our MPC or SME, COP and all that, they have to come in to help, you see. So this is very important. I think we have to pass the message to the government side, I mean, to the finance or economic side and all that. And also, we also hear the government keep talking about, I mean, we have to be a high income nation, I mean, moving toward industrialization and all that, you see. So we need to help them to understand what actually the step and plan, you see, the government should come in to support and make this progress, you see. So I keep thinking, is it how to make, I mean, to seeing this thing happen in our country. You see, even though I work for Neofix, I become the duty. I would like to see the country become very clean and very, I mean, nice place to stay. You see, sometimes when I travel, I mean, to certain country like, I mean, Iraq or this Doha and all that, the places is really clean. You see, you can't see a rubbish in the street, you see. And then you can see the people, when they want to throw any rubbish, they really move toward to the dustbin and throw. Here we still can see people throw out from the car in the highway and all that. But this is a process to educate and let everybody aware, you see, the whole nation work towards, the common objective, you see. So this I would like to sum up, my today, message, to everyone, you see. Thank you, Dato'.
Thank you. Certainly, this is a way forward. I think this is the step one that we have taken today, and how we could look at. But again, in cleaning, I think the biggest challenge is always putting back the right attitude. And as you said, government, I think as us, we should be part of the government, and the government is we. We are the eyes and ears and people who could extend. And I believe, and I could share this with MACC, should look at the National Productivity Center and also the Tourism Ministry, where we should voice out the needs, and also coming up, beefing up for the 12 Malaysia plan. I think something that MACC could put together. Let's hear a bit from Encik Puan before we wrap up for the day.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, sure. Shukli, we're talking about the Center of Excellence. I think this is the place that we can wrap up, we can sit together, brainstorming within the business sector, from the governments, and so for the educational center, because the biggest asset in Malaysia is owned by government of Malaysia. Every country, the asset is belong to the government. This, the Center of Excellence can talk more about the economic skills, might be of the weight of the cleaners, taking care of the environmental, especially, might be the scope of work is being increased. Looking at the thing that we cannot see in the eyes, but from the Center of Excellence, MACC can put more and more effort, more understanding to the government, to the educational, to the public, to industry player. So I hope that Center of Excellence can be well stayed together with the MCCC, MAFM, and also the government. Thank you very much, Dato'.
Thank you, gentlemen. So I think we are there. This is the beginning. I think, as I mentioned, in our service there is no ending. So we'll always keep on moving forwards, moving towards the ladder. We have to move as much as we can. And Encik Noruddin, Mr. Yu, and Encik Puan, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for staying with us until the end of this webinar. And our panel of speakers have been excellent, who have spent time with us to share their experience in moving forward post-pandemic. In such trying times, when businesses are down, the last thing in the mind of most businesses is to conduct promotional activities. But then, this is indeed a time for us to look into alternatives in terms of technological advancement to sustain our businesses and the industry. We need to regroup and pull together and work together, giving this industry a voice, a real voice. And God willing, may we meet again at the next webinar on 22nd September. Now this time is entitled Pemerkasaan Industri Pembersihan Negara, Cabaran dan Isu-Isu Terkini. Till then, if we all work together, we would see a clean, bright and shiny future. But if we do not, we will stay where we are and we will never move. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and we'll meet again.